Good morning and welcome to the August 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Spackenkill Union Free School District Board of Education. I ask you to rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The board will take a vote to go directly into executive session for the purpose of discussing matters pertaining to contract negotiations. It is anticipated the board will reconvene public session at approximately 9:30 a.m. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes 5-0. It is 9:09 a.m. Back. Brings us to item 2.01. I'd like to ask for a motion to open the public hearing on the Code of Conduct and the 2024-2025 district-wide school safety plan. Do I have that motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sorry.
Passes 5-0. Do we have any community input on either the Code of Conduct or the 2024-2025 district-wide school safety plan? I'll ask one more time. Do we have any community input on the Code of Conduct or the 2024-2025 district-wide school safety plan? Okay, hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing on the Code of Conduct and the 2024-2025 district-wide school safety plan and resume the regular meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Passes 5-0. That brings us to item 3.01, public comment on consent agenda items only. Do we have any public comment on consent agenda items? Okay, I'm aware of some questions from the board on items 10.03, 10.07, and 10.11. Are there any other questions from anyone on the board on any other item? Okay, so I'll ask for a motion to accept the consent agenda less items 10.03, 10.07, and 10.11. Do we have a second? All in favor? Passes 5-0. So question on 10.03.
Can you pause for a second?
Sure.
So with the consent agenda passing, tenure was granted to one Lindsay Cassetti, who is here. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anyone like to say anything?
Congratulations.
And you want to tell us who's here, Lindsay,
Oh, sure.
to represent you?
So I have my husband, Mike, James, and Thomas is my youngest, and then I've got my father, Mike, and then Jesse's here. Jesse Murphy, math in case.
Congratulations. Spanish teacher. She's extraordinary. She's been out a little bit, which is fine. But she came back roaring. I even remember walking the halls, and I didn't know where she was. She wasn't in her classroom. She was outside with her class, playing a game to get them to remember Spanish words. What was that game again?
It was a game called Attack. It was a game that I like to do with the kids where they kind of compete against each other and all work together, and they try to knock each other teams out, but they still can be in even if they're out. But everybody gets to participate. All random. It's the most fair, unfair game that they know, because they know I try to be as fair as possible. And somebody can be called a bazillion times, and just the luck of the draw. I think even you picked out the names of the cards, and so they didn't know what was going on, and they were able to play, which was really fun. risk. I'm planning if the weather is nice, maybe the first day of school. So we'll see how that goes.
And the first day you're gonna come right out of the street. All right.
First day of school. I had the same 7 kids from 6th to 7th grade, so I think that they might enjoy that. So should be good.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And, make your husband take you out for breakfast.
I think that's the plan.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations.
Congrats. Okay, there's a question on 10.03.
Yes, for 10.03, I just didn't see any monetary amount for what was being approved. I just had a question about that. I may have missed it. It was like a copy of that. Sometimes it's green. I just wanted to see if there was anything to that.
Yeah. Questions?
The green birds.
So that's a CSC recommendation, there's a school that's attached to that, and the rates are set by New York State. So we didn't receive a bill as of yet. It's an approved New York State school. I'm looking to pass tuition, probably around $50,000 for the students' tuition for the year, around that number, but we don't have it definitive as of yet.
The school, the state set for rates or the school set for
The
rates?
state sets the rate.
And that's IEP for one student.
There's 2 students that attend that school.
Thank you.
I think you're up for the next one too. Talk a little bit about the Dawn Beeman agreement.
What is the first?
Yeah, so my question was there was 2 contract sections there. There's one for professional development, there's one for OG training. So OG training sets a limit, and then PD was just specific to value per day with dates to be determined. So I just didn't know if there was a floor or ceiling to that one.
So her OG training is week long, and I think that's around $8,500 per class fee.
That was 10,000, I think. It said not to exceed, right?
Right.
But it said not to exceed 10,000.
So the other contract for her is her work that she does at Nassau. She's a consultant with our K-2 teachers. She works on the reading inventories, reading assessments. Ms. Village has worked with her for, this might be his 3rd year with Dawn, working on trying to get more consistency and alignment with the teachers on those assessments that they give the students.
So again, is it basically open-ended then at that point, or do we have a baseline for what we've used before, or just to understand the approximate value of what we're approving or considering, I should say?
Well, it's a daily rate, so Ms. Village works out specific dates with Mrs. Lehman, but not to exceed 10,000. So I don't know if they've actually solidified their number of dates, but if we were to want more time with her, we would come back and ask for additional time.
I think I'm asking more specific to the professional development portion of it, which just said the rate per day. I believe it was $1,500 per day. So are we setting a number of days, or are we leaving that open-ended?
I don't think that Mr. Lynch and Mrs. Lehman have solidified their number of days as of yet.
You're saying it can't exceed 10,000.
Right,
And if it was to, we'd have to ask the board again.
right.
So the maximum number is 10,000.
So in theory, 6 days. Then to 9,000.
Right.
Okay. All right, so that would come back to us if it exceeded the 10,000. Okay. Thank you for that.
No tax rates is not yours.
To our business manager, this is more of a comment, I suppose, but also seeking clarification on the process of it. So obviously we set the budget, but the town sets the assessment. They also set the proportion of homestead versus non-homestead. So while there was a small increase in the addition to the taxable rate, they had a rather bigger increase in the proportion from homestead that the homestead pays this year as compared to last year. I think last year was around 50-50, if I remember right. And this year was about 53-47 homestead. So that's going to lead to higher taxes for people.
Correct. What the town of Poughkeepsie is doing is almost trying to bring Stafford School District in line with the other school districts that have tax collection in the town of Poughkeepsie. The other, excuse me, the other two school districts are more of a 30-70 split, with the homestead paying like 70% and the non-homestead paying 30%. So there's going to be this gradual shift to shift more of the tax burden to the homestead. Because if you look at the assessments are almost 3-to-1 for homestead to non-homestead. Basically, the homestead taxes are like $900 million, and the non-homestead is like $300 million. So just because there's such a large difference in the actual assessment numbers, we're trying to bring those proportions more in line with that difference in assessments.
Do we ever have any say in that?
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, a year ago, the assessment of the homestead, non-homestead, they were changing it. A more dramatic change in 1 year. It wasn't 2-3%, it was like 9-10%. We got an email on it. We met with and spoke with the supervisor at the time. He's no longer there. And the controller, what would be the title? Assessor, who's still there. And they actually caught an error and was reduced and brought back down. So we meet with them, I would say definitely yearly, sometimes more than once a year. And I know that now has a number. So we speak to them and try to plead our case, but they have told us what Val has just said. This is their thoughts. We need people to go to the town board meetings and express reports, and people have in the past to let the town know they're not changing this. We believe this is a process over the next 5-10 years.
Okay, thanks for clarifying, I appreciate it.
I had a question with the on the tax resolution one. Says our unexpended surplus was the $3 million, and we have $630 that's going back into the tax levy. Is that the thing that gets divided between the extra accounts that we opened up to hold money for
Yes.
repairs?
Reserves.
Fund balance, yes, fund balance goes.
Those two gets.
Goes to reserves. The $630,000 was actually money that we put towards this year's budget, and the rest of it goes into the other.
So we have two reserves now, so it just gets split.
No, we have several reserves.
Oh.
We have like 10.
Gotcha.
Yes.
The ones two more recently were new.
For new. But there was some, like, we have a tax cert reserve, which you guys on occasion allow us to move money to pay tax refunds. And we have an unemployment reserve and reserves for both purposes. So that's true.
Anybody else on 1003, 1007, 1011? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept 10.03. I have a second. Sasha, all in favor? This is 5-0. Entertain a motion on 10.07. Second. All in favor?
Okay.
Aye, passes 5-0, and accept the motion on item 10.11. Do I have a second? Sasha, all in favor? Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you. Okay, item 12.01 is public comments on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item 12.02, board correspondence. We have a few pieces of correspondence. There was an issue, student-related issue that the principal has addressed. There is a somewhat recurring email on vaccines, and periodically I'll just mention to everybody that the school is subject to New York State regulations on having children vaccinated. And I personally always encourage parents and caretakers to take whatever steps they feel are necessary with regard to vaccines and their own children making their own choices. There was also a email just received, this is a pretty fresh email from yesterday about the playground at Todd, and the principal of Todd was copied on that. We expect him to address that. Hopefully we'll have an update on that possibly at our next meeting. Okay, with that, I'll go to item 13.01, comments from the board. Do we have any comments from the board? Okay, item 13.02, comments from the superintendent.
It's time. We're here. We had a great summer. Typical stuff going on. The schools, if you walk around, they're not quite ready, but it looks like this every year, and we'll be ready for school to begin. And it's today almost marks with having a board meeting and stuff. We're making this shift from some summer to time. We have another week, and I hope everyone enjoys next week before we come back. And then after Labor Day, the day after Tuesday, teachers are getting for a superintendent's conference day, and then Wednesday, we're ready to go. Ready to go back. As you look around the country, a lot of states are already back, so we're starting to see other back to school stuff and all that. But we have another week. I want everyone to enjoy it. But we're ready. We'll be ready. We're excited. We've had a good summer, and we'll be ready. So enjoy the week. We'll see you soon.
Good. Thank you for that. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? This is 5-2. Okay, see you next time. Thank you for being here.
Miss Liz, congratulations.
Thank you. For what?
Contract.